evening, everyone. I would like to welcome you all for Mental Health Webinar Series 2020-2023. Today, we are on session 1276 on topic Social Media Presence with our Honorable Resource Person, Tamim Ansari, sir. I would like to welcome you, sir. Then, I would like to welcome all other participants and organizers on behalf of the American College Madurai, Madras School of Social Work, Yellowpan Counseling Center, Redpan and Educational and Research Center, Tamil Nadu Career Counselors Association, Tamil Nadu Counselors and Psychotherapy Association. Once again, I would like to welcome you all wholeheartedly. Now, a short intro about today's resource person, Tamim sir. Tamim sir is an entrepreneur and has completed a master degree in biochemistry and management with work experience of 18 years in India and abroad at business operations. And he has full-time work experience from Bharati Airtel Limited, Sutherland Global Service, ETA Ascan Group. He is other passionate in strategic business counseling and business development and sales marketing. He has been entrepreneurship achievement at various forums like Compass Clag Consultancy and AK Engineering, Jaya Zone, Best Cyber Coach, Martal, AVS Training, Microsoft, Windows Office, ISO, SAP Edge. And he has been completed many technical and non-technical soft skills and he has been career counseling doing career counseling and guidance as occasional courses and job oriented courses. With that short introduction, I would like to hand over the session to you, sir. Happy to have you, sir. The floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Naveen, for the detailed introduction. And I see a lot of people, who have doctorate, and in front of them, I'm not even a student of psychology, but I've been asked to present a small concept, which I come across through my day-to-day affairs. Okay. So with this, let me start the session, and I hope my audio is clear. I just had the initial
Extremely
check.
clear, sir. Extremely clear.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay. So I hope my screen is also visible now.
Yes, sir. Your screen is also visible.
Yes, fantastic. Okay. So I have the hobby, or it's a passion of writing blogs, and this is one of my blog. And apart from that, I've got quite other blogs, which are on the right side of the page, knowledge resources. These are few of my blogs. And the reason for this topic was the recent discussion with one of the active member, Dr. Salim. Dr. Salim happens to be my senior as well as my colleague when we were working in Dubai, ET Ascon Group. And I had a discussion, and there was recently a critical case that came to me. Okay, I'm actually a student of psychology, and Dr. Salim is helping me out in this psychology counseling. And one such scenario was a school student. He was getting into a lot of negativity, and his parents approached me, and I had the opportunity to counsel him and get him through out of the trauma as well as the negativity condition. And that is when, he asked me to take a session or probably walk through what are all the impact that is happening for school students as well as, people who are affected due to social media. Okay, so initially, my thought process was to take snippets from all the social media and to explain what is happening and how people are being misguided, and people who communicate through the impact of social media. They read the comments, and then they expose their anger, rage through anyone, who's unknown or unseen on social media. But I actually did not want to create that impact, because going through those snippets or probably those screenshots might have retrogatory impact on people, who are here. I want to keep it natural, keep it simple, as well as try to give an impact on the requirement. Okay. So I would like to start with how I developed, or how my father gave this habit of reading. So initially, I was growing up under the shadow of my father, and my day will not start without a newspaper in my hand. Okay, so I wake up every day in the morning, and after my prayers, I hunt for newspaper. Okay, so early in the morning, first thing after prayers and after reading the holy book, I knew I want to have newspapers, and it would be my first demand for any people. I mean, who invite me for to their place for guest lecture. Probably I go there as a consultant, and I demand this from the host that I want every day's newspaper. So this was in earlier times. I mean, when the news application or smartphones were not available. Okay. Uh, my father, I mean, he used to say that reading newspaper every day makes a person wise, and he gets the required information from what is happening around him. And this was cultivated from my childhood, and I really had a great influence on newspapers. So this habit continued until March 2020, that is the recent COVID and lockdown. And thereafter, initially, I mean, few days we didn't get newspapers in my place. Thereafter, I mean, I started getting newspapers, and every day there were a lot of scores that were tallied across states, across countries, that this many deaths and everything. And even before that or after that, I mean, if I get the actual picture, there has been a lot of negativity, and without my knowledge, the negativity was getting into me. Okay. I see a lot of dacoits, or I see a lot of robberies, I see a lot of suicide cases, and I see a lot of illegal affairs within family that actually have created a rift between the key players in that family, the parents, or the husband, wife, the spouses. And after analyzing from starting from the first page until the last page, it was full of negativity, and there is bits and pieces of positive news or something that is required for the people's development. And that is when I decided to take a pause. Okay, it's been my habit for almost 25, 30 years of reading newspapers, and I deliberately wanted to have a pause. Okay, so let me see what happens if I don't read newspaper. And I made a point. I informed the newspaper vendor not to drop newspapers in my home for the next 1 week. Even when we go out for vacation or to our native places, the paper used to fall into my place, and I used to read them at a lot. I mean, I used to take time and read it. But this, I had to take a deliberate decision and to stop the newspapers. Okay. And I try to divert myself by reading other books. Normally, I have my separate time when I read books, and I dedicated my newspaper time to other activities. And it went on for a week, and I actually felt uh, relieved. I actually felt relaxed. Okay, so by this I mean I'm not giving a negative impact on people who read newspapers, but I mean I'm just giving my experience on having read the newspaper. So this was the impact. And after newspapers, I feel there's a lot of negativity that enters the human system through social media. Okay, day in and day out, and being a IT professional and into cybersecurity, I see a lot of negativity that enters into the human space through social media. Every day, I mean, people, before they wake up, they open their eyes, I mean, they open WhatsApp and they check what message they have received, and whether the message that they have sent has been read by the recipients, and they immediately they move on to their other passionate apps like Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, or they go and check their emails, YouTube, whatnot. Okay, so this becomes an habit, and they indirectly they register their digital footprints. Okay, and when normally, I mean, if you watch the content that is available on the social media, that has its own impact. Okay, apart from the content, when you go down, when you go and check the comments, there are positive comments as well as there are derogatory comments, and there are comments, I mean, which are totally irrelevant to the content, or anything that is relevant to whatever is being played there. they defame the person who's posted it, or they call names, they pull families, they drag everyone, all Tom, Dick, and Harry has been dragged into the conversation. And when I initially had the push notification for selected leaders in Twitter, and even that has very negative impact. People call names, people pull each other, and people they use all blasphemies in the comments. This has impacted a lot, and it has actually led me to unsubscribe or unfollow a lot of famous leaders, because their message, uh, though we like their message, or probably their message creates a positive impact, the following message or the counter message or the retweets that people do for all those messages, I mean, creates a negative impact. Okay, so with this, and as well as the other practical cases, I mean, that I received, prompted me to take up this particular topic, and to highlight what are all the negative impacts of the comments that are coming up in social media. So I'm actually did some basic work and created an acronym called as negative. Okay, so social media, it actually creates, or it nurtures hostile environments. Okay, it helps people to retaliate, and this actually becomes a very big topic or trending topic for all the social media handles. They never go against all this rage or communal or religious derogatory remarks. They see the impact of it. I mean, if there are some 200, 300 people, I mean, who are fighting against a particular topic, they find it interesting, and they do not. I've actually reported a lot of messages, I mean, which are not, which are against the cultural as well as the racial rights of people, but they say it's within the parameters, and they let it go. So it actually creates or nurtures hostile environments. Okay, and echoes chambers and confirmation bias. Okay, so there are a lot of people, I mean, who team up, or who gather their network, and they target a specific community or target the specific group of people, or it can even be an individual. And cyberbullying is also something, I mean, which happens openly in many of the social medias, and it actually creates an echoing factor. So this person, well, when he moves on to his Gmail or probably any other account, there are a lot of applications, I mean, which help people to cross post. Okay, say if I have my account in Facebook, and there are a lot of applications, and if I want to post anything in multiple channels, I can just access one particular application, and it actually cross posts in several other applications. Okay, so that is also goes, I mean, some technology that has been created for benefit of the people. I mean, people use it for derogatory and negative requirements. And NEG, so negative. Okay, negative. We're done with G, gravitating towards dramatic content. Okay, and we see a lot of cooked up stories on the internet. So not everything that we see is actually true and real. Okay, there are a lot of cooked up stories, and people fall for all these kind of cooked up stories, and they accept and they believe that these are original and real facts, and they start fighting against their own people, I mean, whom they know for a longer period. And amplifying comparison culture. Okay, it's like recently also, I mean, I came across an actor, I mean, who married the daughter of another famous actor. They actually body shamed his wife, I mean, his spouse, I mean, who recently caught, saying that, I mean, for your looks and your handsomeness, I mean, you deserve someone who's really better than whom you're married. So it is none of their business. I mean, they both like each other. So who are you to comment on that? So people don't give anyone their space in social media, and this becomes a trending topic. And I also came across another viral video where one of an video influencer, he actually wantedly or unwantedly, I'm not sure, he garlanded an anchor. she happens to be from the opposite gender, and this actually created a rift between the person who's the influencer and the anchor, the MC of that particular event. And that video had millions of viewership. People actually want negative impact. They are very interested in seeing things, I mean, that are against the culture, or probably which emphasizes or which creates a lot of bias, and triggering emotional roller coaster. It's like setting people into their highs and lows. Say, for example, I mean, people who are really low in their energy, and give them some derogatory content, and give them some content, I mean, which has got some negative impact, or probably some similar situation where they can resonate, and their negativeness gets deeper and deeper, and they get more hurt, and they get into a stage where it's very difficult for us to bring them out into the normal scenario, and eventually give them a positive hope. Okay, so lots of ups and downs, and a lot of emotional things, I mean, that happens. And I stands for ignoring real life connections. Okay, so something, I mean, that is being exaggerated, something totally high in emotions or high in feelings, like, I mean, the recent movie Jailer, where he chops off the head of one of the team member of a protagonist. Okay, so that is very high in horror, and kids watch that, and it actually creates, in the sense, I mean, those violent are being very easily followed by people. I mean, they feel as if, I mean, nothing has happened, and ignoring real life connections. I would like to relate something that really happened in my life. Okay, so too much of screen share, I mean, might also bore. So let me also give some information that actually this is in terms of real life connection. Okay, I lost my father in May 2020. That is during the lockdown, not because of COVID. I mean, because of his illness and his elder age. Okay, and thereafter, after some 6 months, I mean, I got a letter from the bank that we need to update your KYC. And I visited the bank, and they took my documents, and that's when one of the clerk, he came and he asked me, how's your father? I said, my father is no more, we lost him. And he was so shocked, and he asked me, why didn't you inform? I said, I did not have your number, and that was during lockdown. There was no communication, and we were not let out, so it just happened, everything happened all of a sudden, and we actually completed his funeral and everything the next day. I mean, we didn't have much time to respond to anyone, and I told him that I had everything just on my WhatsApp status, and only through to known contacts, I mean, I had this information given. And immediately he went to the manager, spoke to the manager. I'm not sure what he spoke. I thought, I mean, it was something official between him and the manager. And he came back, and he asked me, what about your father's account? I said, the account is still active. And he said, you cannot have the account active if the person is expired. And he asked me, the account is a joint account with your mom, right? I said, yes. And he gave the account number by hearted. Okay, even I did not remember my dad's account number, but he gave it out of his memory. And immediately he asked me if I have got all the legal documents in place, like the legal heir certificate and death certificate of my father. I said, I mean, everything is done. And we got the legal heir certificate. He said, go take a printout of the legal copy of the legal heir certificate, and the copy of your mom's Aadhaar card, and get this form signed by your mom, and bring it. Okay, so that was the account cancellation as well as the account transfer process, the documentation. He has done all the documentation. Okay, and I went home and got the thing signed from my mom, and came back, and my father's account got closed, and the amount got transferred, and the new account got opened up for my mom, and everything happened within 45 minutes or 1 hour to the maximum. And this all happened in a nationalized bank. Okay, Though it's a good gesture, but I still don't want to name the bank. It's one of the leading bank. Okay, and imagine what is the time that a normal person would have to undergo. He might have been pushed from pillar to post. Okay, my father, he was an accounts auditor, and I actually had a lot of rift with him. Every time, I mean, I go out, or probably go to I leave for my office, my dad used to request me, drop me in the bank, or probably drop me close to the bank. I mean, the bank is very close to my house, but it's on the other side of my office. I mean, I have to drive 1 kilometer on the opposite direction of the direction where my office was. Okay. I used to ask him, you consult a lot of companies, you open up bank accounts, you process their bank documents and everything, but why don't you get an ATM card for yourself, neither a check? Why do you have to go to the bank, fill in the paying slip every time you want to take some petty cash of 500 or 1,000 or 2,000? And this has happened for almost all the 8-9 years, I mean, where I was very close with my dad. And throughout his life, I never knew he had some checkbooks, but in the past 5 years, he didn't even have checkbook facility. He used to visit the bank, fill out a cash withdrawal slip, and get the money. And I did not realize and the value of personal relationship until the day when the bank clerk got all this documentation done for me without my request. Okay, so that is where, I mean, I understood the personal relationship. So let's get back to the blog. Okay, so ignoring real life connections. So this is where I actually wanted to impact and give my real life scenario. And what happens now is we pull each other, or probably people pull each other. They don't know who they are. They don't know where they belong to. They don't know what their capacity is. But just because they defame their favorite leader, or probably they defame their song or music director or music or the flag or anything that has a tangible impact, they just they blaspheme anyone and everyone for that matter. They don't realize, I mean, who the opponent is, or who's being who's receiving it, or probably what kind of people would read the comments. So they care a damn. I mean, I'm sorry to use this word, but they do not care anything. They do not have any concern for anyone, I mean, who's accessing the internet. They just follow their own wits and fancies, and they write whatever they like. And it's all B and F words in Twitter. I mean, whatever is being called as high profile platforms. So that has all these kind of derogatory words. Okay, and when it comes to we validating the need for digital detox, and I actually follow this, and this is also required. And over a period of time, and it was even once I had one person, I mean, who very frequently used to share messages about the current ruling party, and he used to criticize every action of the government. And this actually impacted me. And in one of the public seminar, when I was being asked to give a keynote speech in one of the colleges, I mean, I started giving all this inputs that I read from him. Okay, all the snippets or the memes, I mean, that was created. And after some 2-3 incidents, I realized that what I was doing was not right. I mean, there were close to some 700-800 students, and I was giving the false picture, or I was doing a character assassination of one of the prominent leader. I mean, a people elected leader. So this person happens to be in my network, and I start to receive this kind of information from him through WhatsApp. I go through that, and that actually creates a negative impact, or creates a negative impact. Though I stopped reading newspapers, but I did not stop receiving messages from these kind of people. So that is when I realized I have to be selective on whom I should have on my network, and what I should do with people, I mean, who are in my network. So it was a broadcast message that the person was doing, And I called him and I mentioned him. I mean, if it is these kind of messages, I no longer interested in receiving this. Maybe if it is a separate message, I requested him to remove my name from that broadcast. And if it is anything beneficial that can add value to me, as well as the work that I'm doing or the people that I impact, and I wanted him to, because I mean, he's also from a high profile. Okay, and he also shares a lot of positive information and memory techniques and all kind of motivation quotes that actually adds value. But I do not want to totally cut off, disconnect totally from him, but I wanted to avoid only these kind of negative impacts. So it's totally up to me, in the sense, I mean, I who want to have information fed into me. Okay, so I decide who wants to communicate with me. So it has to be me. So initiating positive change is what I've actually just done. So wherever it is possible, and if you have the option to engage into a positive conversation, so it is up to you to initiate a positive conversation. If you don't have the power or if you don't have the authority, it's always better to move away from that particular situation. I'm not sure whether this platform would be right, but I would like to give one particular proverb, I mean, which is very powerful and which is very much used in my vernacular, my native language. We call that Dushchane Kandal Dura Vilag. I mean, if you see people, I mean, who are not related to you or who you think are an enmity or who can create an enmity, you move away from them. Okay, so that is one thing, I mean, which I've learned and which I'm following enough. And transforming our online landscape. Okay, so like as I've told you, areas where you don't feel empathize, or areas where you don't feel the impact of livelihood in people, and where you think, I mean, people's bond is not established, or people are not developing friendliness or growing the lovability or likability between people, it's always better to avoid from those kind of people and have your own impact, and have your own people, or have your own group of people, I mean, which can determine what kind of people whom you like and whom you love to. Okay. So with this, and added to whatever I've said, I would like to show a small video snippet that I would show during my initial cybersecurity awareness to people. This has major relevance to the social media, as well as the warfare that is currently happening. Okay, so let me know if you are able to hear the. So it's actually opened up into. Is the video's audio clear for you? Are you able to hear the audio of the video?
No, sir.
No, nothing is there.
Yeah, it's not visible.
No, sir.
Just a minute. Let me. Okay, I hope the audio is visible now. Audio is. Yeah. You're able to hear the audio now?
No, sir. The video is visible, but we are not able to hear.
Okay. Something has to be done. Share tab audio, entire screen.
Not audible, sir.
It's not audible. All right. I mean, I can share the video link to you separate so that the organizers can share it with the people. I'll just explain the impact of this video. So this is a pocket-size drone. So it's a pocket-sized drone. I mean, you can see. I mean, he's holding that drone in his hand. It's so small. Okay, he can have it in his pocket. Okay, and he shows the impact of how it can. It can shoot an individual, and he relates that with a Facebook account of students. Let me just skip and scroll. Okay.
Sir, can you please try share audio also, especially in the 3 dots, if there is a share audio, is there?
Yeah, I have actually done that. Let me see. I mean, if I can do it for the individual screen. Slaughterboard share audio tab. I'm doing it.
When you share audio for presentation, you have to choose separately, sir.
Yes.
Take out your entire enemy, virtually risk-free.
Yes, no audible.
terrorize him, release the swarm.
Okay, fantastic,
and
fantastic.
of
Okay.
shaped explosive. This is how it works. Did you see that? That little bang is enough to penetrate the skull and destroy the contents. They used to say guns don't kill people. People do. Well, people don't. They get emotional, disobey orders, aim high. Let's watch the weapons make the decisions. Now, trust easy. These are available today. We have a distribution network taking orders from military, law enforcement, and specialist clients.
The nation is still recovering from yesterday's incident, which officials are describing as some kind of automated attack, which killed 11 U.S. senators at the Capitol building.
They flew in from everywhere, but attacked. Things weren't even interested in me.
We are investing very heavily in classified defense projects.
We make it our deterrent like our nuclear deterrent. We stockpile. Heavy traffic approaching the A720 this morning due to police.
Police are not saying this morning what prompted the alert.
Claim relaxing firearm legislation would be useless against the so-called slaughter bots.
Can you hear me? Oliver, can you hear me? Listen to me.
Authorities are still struggling to make sense of an attack on university campuses worldwide, which targeted some students and not others. The search for a motive is apparently turning to social media, and a video shared by the victims exposing corruption at the high.
But it's far from surprising.
Okay, so this video, it actually runs for 7 minutes. So let's discuss more on about this video. I can share this link. This is available on YouTube. Okay, so I can share this. Okay, so how this happens is it targets students who have shared a particular video on corruption. Okay, and the person who is targeting or who has actually programmed this drone, he actually programmed or linked the social media account of all those students, I mean, who have shared this particular video, and their GPS location is being tracked using their mobile smartphones, which they are having in their hand, and the signal that is being emitted, and everything is being coordinated with one particular synchronization sensor, and the particular person who happens to have the phone is being targeted. So this we cannot deny the very existence of this model, because everything is possible now, because now we have got drone delivering our grocery, or drone delivering our medicines, and people are being airlifted by drones, the accident victims. So when these are possible, definitely drone war is also possible, and it is it's already there in most of the places, and it is nowhere in the future that is yet to come, where every individual can have their own drone with a small packet size drone, and it can be armed with a bullet, and God must save us from all these kind of dangerous gadgets. Okay, so having coming across these kind of negative impact information or news, okay, we can come to a situation where no news is actually good news. So that is the concept where I come across, and I'm happy and proud to say that, I mean, my house is a house, I mean, which has been without a television or a television connection for the past 12 years. Okay, so we don't have a TV at home. Though we had a big monitor, even that's not functioning now. We don't have any kind of television network. No satellite channel comes to my home, but I do have an internet connection, and my kids watch cartoon, and they're updated with the latest news that happens across kids and everyone, and we are not hooked to any TV serials, and I have my wife whom I can fight or a romance with, and I've got my children, I mean, whom I can play with. And just because we don't have this television, we spend time together. We go out, we play together. We have a lot of board games, and we converse. So when we have this TV that is sitting in the middle of the house, and which deteriorates or probably becomes an obstacle for human conversation and one-to-one conversation, I feel it's high time to throw away this particular device from our home. And since my school days, I mean, we've been taught that it's an idiot box. And why is that? I mean, we need to have an idiot box at home which does not pay any goodness to anyone, I mean, who's living in this. Okay. So when I was drafting this particular blog, so I remembered something, I mean, that I learned in my school. I mean, we call this Gandhi's talisman. I mean, if it is right, I mean, he actually tells, I mean, will it the news that to put it in nutshell, I mean, news that you're going to deliver it to me, will it benefit you, or will it benefit me, or will it benefit anyone, I mean, who's living in the corner of the street, or will it benefit anyone, I mean, who's actually involved in this particular information? If you categorize, or if you scrutinize all these four aspects, then no one will pass on any information to anyone, I mean, without doing a proper scrutiny. Okay, so let us assume responsibility. Let us assume this accountability before we forward any messages through WhatsApp or Facebook or Instagram. And being a cybersecurity professional, I must say that, I mean, there is something called as a digital fingerprint or digital footprint. If you go to any comment, or if you go to any picture or meme or any video, and at one state of mind you like that, and then you give a thumbs up, and the very next minute you feel that whatever you've done is not right, and if you remove the thumbs up, it doesn't mean that, I mean, you have not done. Okay, every action of yours is being recorded. You have the time that you gave a thumbs up or your like is recorded, and the time when you unlike the video is also recorded. Okay, it is not that, I mean, you never existed, or probably you never came to that video. Okay, so be sure, be very careful, or be very confirmative whenever you post anything. Only now recently WhatsApp has come up with the delete for all option. Prior, your messages cannot be deleted, and even there are many softwares or many applications which don't have the option. Though it might give you an option to delete, there are chances that it is possibly saved in the server, and it can be brought back anytime whenever they feel good, or they can always hand it over to the legal compliance authority. And going ahead, this another interesting aspect or interesting news from our father of the nation came across. Uncleanliness is not what we see in the external. The actual dirt is what lies within the minds, or probably that is within the internal. So that actually comes out when when your favorite things are being bullied upon, or probably when there's heated up discussion, I mean, which happens in the internet, probably in social media, and where you are prompted, or probably you are instigated or triggered to post a comment. Okay, so think twice, think about the talisman, and think twice or thrice, think what impact it can have, or what is that you're going to achieve, or how is that it is going to change and create an impact with your one word or one word of your negation. Okay, so having come across so much negativity, I do not want to leave this particular session with full of negative impacts alone. So I want to have a positive impact, or rather at least neutralize whatever I have said. Though we see a lot of derogatory things that happens on the social media, there are a lot of things, I mean, which are beneficial and positive for the mankind. Okay, and that I have named with Spark Joy. Okay, so S stands for share inspirational stories. So there are a lot of stories, I mean, that we can share, like the one which I actually shared about my father, and we come across a lot of motivational channels, I mean, which are available on podcast, YouTube. Okay, so promote those, and whenever you come across any derogatory information or any blasphemy or any racial discrimination, put a positive quote over there. Try to have some love that is being exchanged over there. Try to create a win-win situation, or try to create a harmony among people over there, and promote gratitude. We all are not independent, we are interdependent. So we cannot actually live alone. We require everyone's support. And my father always used to say, so no matter, I mean, you stay alone, you eat alone, or you stay wherever you want without any people support, end of the day, I mean, you cannot walk to your own grave. So this I have heard from him multi times. I mean, whenever we had a conversation, or whenever he meets people, he was so humble in himself. And during the lockdown itself, I mean, when the a funeral procession was actually restricted to 20 or 50, though it's a public meeting and it's open to a lot of people, I would like to say that, I mean, close to 500 people turned out for his funeral. It's because of the personal impact that my father had among the neighbors, and he used to spend a lot of time with people. He used to see their betterment, and he actually ran a private job consultancy, or a different kind of consultancy, where he used to motivate people. He used to give them job guidance and everything. Okay, so that's the gratitude and the tribute that my neighborhood had on my father. And a lot of people, though it was lockdown and it was restricted, a lot of people turned out for his funeral. And amplify acts of kindness. Okay, so I actually created a small gesture at home, and whenever I thank my children or I thank my wife, and I always reinstate that this conversation must be within the family. And I say, I mean, if my daughter gives me something and I thank her, we don't use the word welcome when we say thank you. We say I love you, or probably love you, or love you father, or love you dad. Okay, and whenever my daughter thanks me, I say I love you darling, or I love you my son, or I love you my daughter. So let this love, or let this word of thank happen between you, or probably can happen between the colleagues. I mean, I'm not talking about something that is beyond the human capacity. Okay, so love is a common word. It can be shared among any people. Okay, so let us spread love, let us spread kindness, and let us be thankful and gratitude of all people, I mean, who are giving. And we used to get milk delivered by a person, a milkman, though it is his job and we pay him for all the milk, yet I thank him. Okay, end of the transaction, he pours milk into our vessel. I thank him. Thank you so much. Thanks, Anna. And he also feels gratitude. And he calls me from the ground floor by parlor. And I give him a verbal message from the top. Yes, Anna, I'm coming. Please wait for 2 minutes, or please wait 1 minute. Okay. And immediately I go and open the door. I say thank you. And then after getting the transaction, the milk being filled into my vessel, I say thank you. So I really don't lose anything by saying thank you. And he feels a very good gesture 2 times or 3 times a day. He smiles when he kicks his bike and he leaves from my home. Okay. And this is radiate positivity. So you meet everyone, you meet anyone, though you know them or you don't know them, please smile. It is very easy for anyone to smile, but no matter, I mean, if the person resonates or reciprocates your smile, you don't lose any. Maybe at times, I mean, you might get a frown or you might get a slap as well, but it doesn't matter because you have your intent from you. And I can relate that scorpion story. There was a saint, I mean, who was walking by the riverside, and he comes across a scorpion, and the scorpion was getting down into the water. The saint, he lifts the scorpion, and the scorpion immediately after being touched by the saint, it stings him, and the saint drops it into the water. Again, he lifts it, the scorpion stings, and he drops it. With this, the disciple asked him, the scorpion is every time, I mean, it is hurting you, it is biting you. Why is that? I mean, you pick. And the saint, he says, hurting or biting is the attribute or the character of the scorpion, and helping is my character. No matter how much time I'm being hurt by the scorpion, I should not leave my attribute. I must save it. Okay. So let us have that particular attribute. So no matter how much negativity we receive from the internet or from people around us, let us not reciprocate it. Let us not mirror it. Okay. And let us nullify it. Let us neutralize it, and create positivity out of it. Okay. And to the most and to the best, let's keep it authentic. Okay. I actually wanted to share one of my earlier days mobile document, because I used to have a broadcast list, and I used to send SMS, and my SMS used to run 2 pages. Okay. SMS broadcast list. I used to have 5-6 broadcast lists. Each broadcast list used to have some 100 numbers, so totally 600 numbers. Every SMS used to keep broadcasting. No matter, I mean, if it is authentic or not, it could be a forward, it could be, and once it was one of the rumor or a fake information about an actress' death. Even that, I mean, I forwarded. Okay, so I feel so bad when I think about all those now, and it was spark joy. Okay. So join positive communities, and I feel this particular psychological group, the mental health wellness series, the Yellow Pond, or the exact name, what we may call it, I'm not exactly sure. This actually develops a lot of positivity among people, and I usually have my sessions across 4:30 to 6:30, and I miss most of the sessions. But whenever I'm available at 5 o'clock, I make it a point that, I mean, I attend the mental health webinar session. And it actually creates a lot of positivity, and you people, I mean, you bring in a lot of people from different aspects of life, and they actually deliver concepts on a lot many topics, personal, mental health, child welfare, child growth, and everything. Lot many. I mean, it's all so amazing, and I feel so relieved, and I feel so energized. I mean, whenever I attend these kind of programs, and try to offer support and encouragement. And recently we had this sad story of a leading music director's daughter, I mean, who's committed suicide, and this may be due to a great impact of social media, because I am a person of we call it as 90s kids, and suicide was a thing of out of reach, I mean, for people who came across, and we were really did not have that much courage to commit suicide, I mean, to be exact. And I know people are really so courageous enough to take that drastic step of killing themselves. Okay. And yield positivity challenges. Okay. So give challenges, and for the person to come ahead or support him, and if and all, I mean, anyone is not able to perform to his maximum, give him shorter steps, give him micro steps, or give him a micro boost energy, or probably travel with him for a week. There's nothing that, I mean, we're going to lose. You develop your next line of people, I mean, who are in your similar mindset. Delegate the task to them, and you follow up whether he's able to do his task, and you pitch in, and you check what is being happening. because one word of kindness can never replace anything in this world. Because I come across a lot of things where people commit suicide for deaths or financial crisis, and the family, they get together during his funeral, and they talk as if he would have asked me, I could have given. People are not that broad minded. Okay, they speak at the funeral, but I mean, whenever people go and knock the doors, whenever they are in need, they don't actually support. So let us not fall into those people footsteps. Let us be the people, I mean, who are actually helping and who fall into the helping bucket. No matter whatever the situation is, if we are not able to support them, let us at least be kind enough to use kind words of motivation, gratitude, so that people feel happy after they leave from us. Okay, so I think, I mean, it's time, and I don't have much to share, so I stop my presentation with this. And if there is any questions or discussion that we have for a healthy discussion, I'm open. Let this be a collaborative session.
Yeah, thank you, sir. It was a fantabulous session. How to spread positivity and how to radiate positivity beautifully mentioned with examples, real-time examples. Yeah, friends.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, you can interact with sir.
Sure. I don't have a presentation. I have my blog link. I will share the blog link with the organizer, either to Dr. Salim or anyone else, and you can have the access to my blog. And my blog has all.
You can share with Salim, sir. We will circulate in group.
Sure. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ansari sir. Thank you for the wonderful information and the eye-opening session actually. And what we are doing mistakes actually with the social media. Then I have come to know that what do's and don'ts for us, and that's spark joy. That's a good thing. I like. And thank you very much for the wonderful evening, wonderful thing.
You're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you, Dr. Adesh.
Thank you, Ashish. Yeah, Satyan sir. Satyan sir.
Am I able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So one question, and the WhatsApp message that we see, it is encrypted. Is it true?
It's actually a hypothetical question. It is actually encrypted in the sense, I mean, people who have the WhatsApp application, they will not be able to see this. But if you ask me, if you ask me as a technical person who have developed the WhatsApp application, I can open up and check every information that is being transferred from one WhatsApp number to other. Because we have being into the cybersecurity industry, we are receiving a lot of complaints from people, as well as we are people who liaise with the polices, and we get the information from WhatsApp, and we hand over certain case history from WhatsApp to the complaints authority. So it is actually possible to sneak in, open up the messages and check. But for a normal person, it is not possible.
Yeah,
for
but
an individual, it's not possible.
I have seen, I have heard a particular case that the whole WhatsApp message was downloaded and brought in.
Yes, I mean, it is possible. I'm not denying the fact it is not possible. Anything that is available in the internet, it is prone to hack.
Okay.
If I have the right technology, I can hack any system and I can gather any information that I require.
The second question to you, sir. What do you mean by exactly cyberspace? Cyberspace.
Anything that is on the internet. On the internet, it is called as cyber. Okay.
Yeah, that means, for example, I'm talking and you are talking. This media is going to be in a cyberspace where others can intervene.
Yes, space is a normal space. I mean, it's like a distance between 2 points or distance between multiple points. So that is called as a space. And if that space or if that particular area is happening in a digital environment, which is the internet, that is called as a cyberspace. And cyberspace can have lot many variables within it. I mean, it can have text, it can have pictures, it can have numbers, numerals, it can have voice, audio message, it can have video messages, it can have multiple modes of messages in this space.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Wonderful.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Shalva.
Hello, sir. It was a good session, and I would
Yes.
like to ask you. You quoted about the music director's daughter also. So actually, that was
Yes.
always our concern: how to really protect our children from the nuisance of cyberspace in general. So
Yes.
as you mentioned, like though like Satyan sir asked, WhatsApp is encrypted. That's what we have to believe in a layman level, and as a technical
Yes.
person, you tell us that it is not encrypted. And actually speaking, with the audio speakers in our phone also, everything that we speak also could be heard and tapped by many providers or traders and people like that, and they really respond to us in terms of like choice of our videos now. So is there any possibilities that we could restrict the children being in social media, and let's say it goes to the legal side of it, meaning like it is under surveillance, that those who are underage, and we give them some protection by protecting their online things, particularly like in China. They really don't allow the underage going on site more than 3 hours or 2 hours, which is officially statutorily allowed, but it is under strict monitoring. At least we could save some percentage there, right? So
Yes.
I would like to get your opinion and view and some insights on that, sir.
Sure, definitely. So I can give you two options. One is you can have antivirus installed in the devices. I mean, that is being handled by youngsters or children below the age of 12, where you have a lot of firewall, or probably a lot of parental controls, I mean, which can enable in the antivirus. And if and all you don't have access to antivirus, what you can do is you can have Google Family Link is what I believe is an application where you can have this installed in a parent device, and you can install the client application, Google's Family Link in the kids gadget, and you can control this from your device. In the sense, I mean, you can restrict the number of hours the device can be active. You can enable or disable any particular application. You can lock the application whenever you want. You can add uptime, or you can downtime the device. You can remotely access the particular gadget from your place. Or probably, I mean, if you feel that, I mean, your or any particular child is hiding anything from you and seeing you, I mean, he's closing the screen, or probably he's facing out the screen. If you suspect anything, you can immediately lock the child's device from your device.
Sorry for intervening, sir. Actually,
Yes.
I think the crux of the problem is not with the children, maybe the children, the child definition of a child. But I'm talking about the adolescents below 18. But they are more intelligent, and they are more technically advanced, and they have the good IQ, and even recently, even in our SSLC examination, some many thousands of students did not take exams, right? There were particularly after COVID pandemic. So I'm talking about the adolescents. Neither they could be watched, nor they could be controlled, nor their emotions is really, I mean, actually their emotions are better controlled by only the media, not by us or the family situation anymore. So my worry, my concern, I'm asking, thank you very much for telling us about the gadgets that are available. Yes, I slightly am aware of that, but I'm worried about the adolescent sector.
Okay, so I see, I mean, it actually should be a cultural change, or probably a change, I mean, that has to be brought up over a period of time. I mean, it is not drastic or immediate that can be done. Let me tell you, I mean, what I follow in my house. I mean, I do not watch mobile in front of my kids, or probably, I mean, if it is really required, I mean, I come out and then watch. And we have a policy that mobile devices must not be taken into our bedroom. And Moreover, I mean, I develop or have cultivated the habit of reading books among my kids. And I talk in terms of books. I mean, whenever, I mean, I recently had a conversation with my son, I mean, who's in his 3rd standard, and I talked to him how to choose friends. I asked him, I mean, would you choose a book that is not interesting? Would you choose a book that has a lot of bad words? Would you choose a book that is really having a dirty image or a shabby image, or a book that has got a lot of nudity? He said, no, that book I'm not interested in. I said, people are also like books. When you select a book which you prefer, also select a person or a friend, I mean, for that matter. So it's the duty of the parent to inculcate the habit of reading books into the children. And when you have a person, I mean, who reads book, there's a lot of things, I mean, that can be cultivated without our intervention. You want some aspect of the person or your child to be inculcated or developed, give him a better book, or probably change the book that he reads. You can change the perspective or the attitude that you expect. And children no longer listen to whatever the parents say. They see and they do. If you want your children to read books, you have to read book in front of them. You have to be an example. You have to set the example that is expected, that you expect from your children. Okay, so be the example that you want your children to follow. And as I've said, I mean, it should be a cultural change, and it must be some drastic time has to be given for all this change to take into effect. It cannot be a drastic change, because the penetration of mobile gadget, it's actually a drastic, and it's actually exponential if you calculate it. The impact it is created is very deep, and you cannot bring it back. In the sense, I mean, you have to get into confidence with your child, or probably the adolescent for that matter. They must feel your presence more enjoyable and more comfortable and more beneficial rather than the mobile itself. Okay, you have to create an impact that I can do lot of many other things that the mobile cannot do. When you can get into his comfort zone or his confidence zone, then he will open up to you. He or she will open up to you, and he can actually throw his mobile. Because since, I mean, we stay close to the beach. Okay, so beach is the one of the usual hangout for me and my family. Okay, so when I see my children, I mean, they are hooked into the mobile phone. In the sense, I mean, we don't allow any video games to be downloaded. When I see that, I mean, their number of hours is getting more into the mobile phone, I give a call. How many of you are interested to go to the beach and play? Okay, they love that. They love that, and they want to go out. Okay, we pack the things, and they actually list out, or probably they do a inventory of all the toys, I mean, they want to take. I mean, all the play items they want to take to the beach. We go, we put it out again, we count it, and we play there. We stand in the water and come back. We have lively conversation, and this goes on. And I spend time regularly. Every alternative, if they want to go, I fix up the time, and I demand certain things from them. If you want to do this, if you want to go to the beach, I want this to be done. I want the homework to be done. I want the house to be neatly set. I want your wardrobes to be neatly arranged. I place certain demands, and I restrict their mobile hours. If you want more mobile hours, your outside activity will be restricted. If you want more of outside activity, your mobile, you have to sacrifice your mobile. So I weigh in that way, and in the sense, I mean, I actually forced my fitness just because of them. I mean, I have drastically, in the sense, I mean, got a flat tummy now. I mean, not that much flat, but I've got into a proper fit routine, because I have to run with my kid. I have to catch and catch, so everything. So I cannot say you go and run, you go and play, because I mean, when they don't see me into their play area or into their into their comfort zone, they will not listen to me. So though I can do it or I cannot do it, I make it a point that, I mean, I have to play with my kid. So I deliberately, voluntarily keep myself fit and play with them. So every parent, I mean, if they go into their child's zone, definitely the child will come to the parent zone. Because if you don't listen to the child when they want you, they call you to play games, they call you to play with their clay, they call you to play with their doll. If you don't go to them when they call you, they will not come when you call them at the age of 13 or 14 or 15, when you're suspicious about your child, and when you want to be with your child, or when you want to discuss certain things with your child, that they will see you as an alien. You didn't come when I wanted you. Why are you calling me now? So I don't want. I have my friend, who came when I wanted. So this is the actual thing that happens. I think most of the child psychologists will agree to my point. Okay, so be with them.
Yes, sir. Very true.
Exactly. So be with them when they want, and they will come to you when you want.
Exactly.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
sir. It's very well
You're
explained.
welcome.
Yeah,
You're
I
welcome.
What
think
we are
due to
going
time,
through now is a repercussion. That's it. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yes, you're welcome.
due
Thank you.
to time constraint, we can conclude today's session with your permission.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, Priya, you can go for VOT.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time and knowledge. From the Department of Psychology, the American College, Chennai and Tamil Nadu Career Counselors Association, Tamil Nadu Counselors and Psychotherapists Association, Redmond Yellowcorn Counseling Center, we heartily extend our gratitude for being here, sir. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great week ahead, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Bye, friends.